it's great that you had someone to go back to help give you
Mm-hmm.
that reassurance that the decision that you made was right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's kind of the drawback to being young and naive is that, like Olivia mentioned, a lot of these girls who are getting into the sex industry, whether it be porn or prostitution, or even just, posting nudes online and doing OnlyFans, is that like she mentioned, they come from homes that are not necessarily broken, but just don't have guidance, or there's abuse going on, or there's chaos inside of the home. I know for me, a lot of people always ask me, "Oh, you did porn. You must have been raped growing up, or you must have had sexual abuse." It wasn't like that at all for me personally. I don't know if this is what caused it, but I've shared this before on the podcast that growing up, my parents were divorced. My sister has severe schizophrenia. And I think where I first started idealizing porn stars and girls like Anna Nicole Smith and Playboy was when my sister was going through her schizophrenic episodes. There was her cutting herself in front of me. One time I came home from school and she had hung herself, and I had to cut her down from our swing set when I was in elementary school. And I remember going through those experiences. And one time I found online the girls next door of Playboy, and I just was like, wow, their life looks so amazing.
The
And you can
simple.
just hit up like this old man and he'll fly you out to LA. I could get away from all of this and my life would be so incredible like theirs. They have all this cute clothes, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. This is a video I've been really racking my brain around how to go about it because I touched on it a few times, but I have made some kind of similar videos, but I really wanted to emphasize on this because I really believe we've gotten to a like we've passed the point that something could have been done about this, right? It's a snowball effect, right? And and the reason I made this today, I watched Gnostic Antinatalist's video that he titled he titled the 8-hour twerk week. God damn it. Oh man, like thanks for outdoing my clickbait game. I literally couldn't even think of that. I wish I did. And uh like every time you see his comments, a comment thread on either my channel or his channel, just expect some bullshit, right? Just expect some bullshit. He's on his scented, warm, and cozy comment section, right? Right?
Hey yo, what the fuck? What do you mean by that?
Okay, okay, I'll try and be serious for the rest of this video. It's not going to happen, but why not? So we we're in the OnlyFans era now, right? But it seems to me that have you okay, I don't know where you would be, where you'd like meet prostitutes often. I mean, you never know, right? I don't know. You could, right? I mean, uh in the traditional sense, right? Maybe red light district, whatever. I know it looks very different. There's private, blah blah blah, but somebody who identifies himself as a prostitute, right? Or I guess sex work is really broad and it's more humanizing, I guess. Um, it will always have the potential to be dehumanized just simply from the nature of the work. So prostitutes, sex workers, whatever, whatever somebody wants to be called in that profession, I think uh should be up to them, right? It seems to me like the people that this sexual empowerment and liberation movement has been centered around have been sidelined terribly, like terribly so. And you know, young women in particular, like, yes, you know, it happens for guys as well. It's not very well broadcasted. I think it tends probably to happen more for gay men, right? Straight men, not completely as much. It depends. I guess it depends, but like, some videos I was watching about, uh, I can't remember which porn site it was, but they were explaining how, I guess it's just the nature of, you know, somebody having like a different orientation to the norm is automatically going to make it like a fetish or something. It's fucked up, right? It's fucked up. I don't agree with it, but I think that's what happens, right, with regards to men. But with women, it's very evident. Like, no matter what their orientation is, or what their, you know, uh, there's a niche for everybody. There's a niche for every woman to fill in the sexual marketplace, right? I'm not saying this in a, like, you know, misconstrue me however the fuck you want, right? If you don't understand why I'm saying the things I'm saying, you can literally shove it, but you understand what I mean when I say this, right? I don't need to keep explaining myself.
Thanks, Jake. Okay, Jake. Well, that's a tough one because you may be ready to lose your virginity, but maybe your partner isn't, and you should never pressure anyone to do something that they don't want to do. That goes with saying, when I lost my virginity, a guy said no 3 times, and I still hopped on it, so you're asking the wrong person.
I want to talk about your relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? How, and it's Robert, right?
Yes.
How does Robert, this is kind of 2 problems. How does he prop you up? And how does he bring you down to earth?
We have actually been having trouble finding that balance because recently it's been a little hard for him to reconcile my past, and that has caused some issues in the relationship. And we're working through it and trying to communicate and trying to just ease any discomfort or, you know, it's really hard. He has never been used to this many eyes and this many voices, and it got to him a little bit.
And you know, what is placed in front of us? What is placed in front of us in the media, right? Because the clips I've put of, like, Riley Reid, Mia Khalifa, Lana Rhodes, they're porn stars, they're sex workers, and even though all 3 of them are in the 1%, or, like, I don't know, 0.9% income earners, like, in the world, they're not any more empowered. Like, they're on, in fact, like, Lana Rhodes and Mia Khalifa especially are on this, like, regret crusade, I guess, right? They're really on this regret crusade about it, and they don't fail to continue to monetize their oppression, right? Like, you know, you can use oppression in quotes or no quotes, whatever, but they persist in monetizing it in some way, even if not appearing on camera. If I remember correctly, I think Mia Khalifa has an OnlyFans. I've never looked at it. I personally have never seen the hype with her, so I've never really checked out any of the stuff, either Riley Reid or even Lana Rhodes, to be honest. Like, really, really honest. But, like, they've made so much money, and quite frankly, Riley Reid is a piece of shit. Like, she is a piece of shit, right? The other 2, you know, you can call it conflicting, you know, ideas about what it was going to be, blah, 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 blah. You know, the whole, the talking points we're used to. But Riley Reid is genuinely a piece of shit. How is it she's able to say that she lost her virginity by literally raping a guy who said no 3 times out of her, like, you heard it yourself, right? I'm not taking her out of context or anything, and nothing has happened to her. There's no canceling, there's no nothing. Like, she's literally said it and admitted to it, and nothing has happened. this is a point that I'm going to bring up in another video in future. But, it's, to me, I really wonder, are women really this impotent? That's the thing that always it like enters my mind every time I hear like somebody like Riley Reid open their mouths. Like, are women really like? Is this like the low expectations, or what is it? Or is it like they just? I don't know. It's like, is it like a kid punching your leg or something? Is this how we understand this? Because the guy she lost her virginity, she raped the guy she lost her virginity to. She says it multiple times. She even said it on Twitter, I think. She laughs about it. It's funny to her. Is this an empowered woman? Is this an empowered and liberated woman? Right? And this is literally, oh man, this is literally who are placed in front of young women right now as role models. And in Gnostic Anti-Natalist video, he jokes quite a bit, but he brought up a really, really good point about how they're monetizing this. Or rather how they're taking advantage of their good looks or their attractive looks to make lots of money, right? Now, to my knowledge, from looking up the histories of these women, they haven't talked about like growing. Oh man, and the thing is, like, Lana Rhoades' stories, like, of her upbringing is pretty sad, right? But she doesn't say that she was ever like sexually assaulted, because that's the usual. That is the usual entryway into the porn industry, right? To put it that way. Neither Mia Khalifa, to my knowledge, I could be wrong on that, but fuck Riley Reid. Literally just fuck Riley Reid, honestly. And even then, it wouldn't matter, because they're already women. They're oppressed, right? They're victim by design. They're victim by definition of existing in a patriarchy, right? Whether it happened to them or not. Which isn't to say it's any less impactful if it did, right? But it's weird to me how the average sex worker or prostitute doesn't see this kind of windfall, doesn't see this kind of media media coverage, right? You'd think so many of them are just breaking the bank and being able to buy houses and cars like within a year of doing OnlyFans or whatever. But I'm talking about like proper red light district. It's like you can literally now see economic stratifications within prostitution, within the world of prostitution. Like, we can see it now very clearly. There's always been like sort of the high-end prostitutes, and then there's the local ones, or you name it. There's constantly been those, but now it's literally in front of our faces in such a blatant manner. And it's not even really doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's putting this self-destruction fetish on full display. And it's not something that's just personal to one that stays to one person. This is happening on a population level. That is the thing that is concerning about it. That's what's so fucked up about it, really. So messed up. I said it before, like, the only thing we have now is our sense of self-preservation, and they're chipping away at it, like, rather quickly. You wouldn't even know what it means to have the word self-preservation won't mean anything to us anymore. It won't mean anything to anyone. It's like you made up a gibberish word or something. It just won't be a concept. Sort of like privacy as well, right? But it just seems to me like people are just... It's not even that they're brainwashed. It's like they're compelled by something that's brainwashing them. And that something is something that they're aware of. And yet they could stop it, but choose not to. You know, I can't take this, like, it's the same pattern over and over, you know. They'll get in, they're sexually liberated, then, you know, they obviously see things that humans should ever really see, and then they get out, they're traumatized, they're crying, blah, 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 you know, patriarchy, oppression. It was like, it's so tedious. It's just so boring. And this is what feminists don't understand, is you're desensitizing people to your best arguments. Even if the arguments have holes or inconsistencies, you have desensitized especially men to your best arguments. Right? The average sex worker really isn't... Oh, let me not say that, right? The kinds of women that succeed on OnlyFans are literally middle class. Middle to upper class women that succeed on OnlyFans. You know, they have the disposable income to be able to buy whatever like devices, contraptions, and you know, that they use, or outfits, or you know, lighting, what you name it, right? So that they can tailor it to the desires or the specifications of their subscribers, right? Or if they're just famous enough and hot enough, they'll just do whatever the fuck they want on the platform, right? And what is so grotesque to me, and this, I really look at, oh man, humans really aren't shit. I look at men differently after the Cash Me Outside girl launched an OnlyFans when she turned 18 and made $1 million in a few hours of it being up. $1 million. Oh, and the last time I checked, the last article she was featured in about it, she ended up making $50 million. I'll post up the screenshots. This is literally, well, was a child that was rewarded for their terrible behavior. That, you know, what is the motivation to change? What is the motivation to develop yourself, or to I don't know, to not be a piece of shit or like insufferable, right? What is the motivation when you have Cash Me Outside girl being rewarded for it, and then she opens an OnlyFans? This is men, bro. This is probably the one of the few times I'll ever side with feminists and be like, yo, men are fucking disgusting. This is primarily men, right? Guys who are waiting for her to turn 18 to be legal, or probably not. I don't even... Oh, man. It's so exhausting. It really is. Like, it's so exhausting. This is why ignorance is such bliss, right? She literally bought a $6 million mansion in Florida using all cash from the money she made within like the space of a month, I think. Yeah, like, what does that screenshot say? Or is that in total? No, that's in total. I don't know how long it'd been up, but like she made $1 million in a few hours, in like 6 hours. So, you know, what traditional sex worker would be able to do this? Even forget even $1 million. To make 100,000, right, in a year, I'm saying like it's definitely probably happened, and it definitely probably does happen. But like I said, oh, I'm saving a few for the next video, by the way. Oh man, that's gonna be a sickening one. Like I said, these are women who already had the disposable income to be able to make it succeed. It's sort of like, you know, the drop shipping, e-commerce gurus, the course selling gurus and everything. These are guys who literally went to their parents and got a small loan of $100,000 or something, right? Most of them, they already had that disposable income and time to be able to build these businesses for themselves. Or it's not like they were born in like some slum and opened like a Shopify account with AliExpress products and like turned it into like $1 million store. They sell you a dream. They sell you your dream back to you. That's what they do. But these guys, even if they didn't open these Shopify stores, most of them would have been fine, right? Most of them would have been okay. And you know, at this point, I'd say it's pretty much, you know, for everyone who's really here for the long run, it's just better off to be some kind of historian, right? Not even like like an academic historian, but like even like a recreational one. Just noting all of this lunacy down, tracing it yourself, right? Whatever story that interests you, tracing it as far as you can and getting the relevant info and just something that you are really interested in or passionate about. Because I think that's pretty much all we have left. It's a pretty desolate world out here. It really is.